Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Fronti.
It's interesting. So what Don and I do is we break down all the reports, and we try not to have a media spin to it.
Sure.
And the reason for that is we don't get paid to do the radio show. We don't have any political allegiance or alliance, and we certainly don't have millions of viewers that we're trying to please. And we know that from watching Darren Hardy at a lot of the training seminars that we go to, we know that the dirty little secret of the media is that negative news sells better than positive news.
Sure. They're typically a day late and a dollar short.
Yeah, so speaking of a day late, sometimes in the real estate industry, they're 3 months late or even 3 years late. And this report was kind of comical to me. We received a report that the New York Times, homeownership is the best way to build wealth. Well, no kidding. They found that the average homeowner is 36 times more wealthy than the average renter. 36 times. That's astronomical. So the number here was a renter's net worth is typically $5,400, and a homeowner's net worth is typically $194,000. So, not difficult to know which side of the spectrum you want to be on.
Right. Go figure that real estate went full circle. It's just interesting because, in order to set up a retirement, in order to have personal financial goals, you need to invest in something. And when the Dow's down 400, do you pull out every dollar that you have? Do you pull out of your 401k? Do you stop investing totally because of a couple bad days? And I don't think that real estate's any different. It all comes full circle, and it's an investment. So
yeah, and Don and I did, speaking of the National Real Estate Cafe, we just did a video for the National Real Estate Cafe that talks exactly about that. And it talks about, we looked at all these different states and what the growth was since 1991, right? So now we're looking at the big picture, right? Including after the Great Recession, right? So we're looking at the big picture. California was something along the lines of, and I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I think California's growth since 1991 was something along the lines of 137% cumulative growth. So that's not a bad investment since 1991, right? If you put in $1, you did good.
Yeah, if you look around, there's not as much vacant land as there once was.
Yeah.
And so there's more people looking to buy homes than there is homes available. So to me, that would be considered a hot commodity, and it's what I do and what I love. So I'm partial to it, but definitely have to wait.
It's funny that you say you're partial to it, right? Because when I talk to my financial planner, he says, well, this is, you've got a lot of property already in your financial portfolio. Let's make sure we get some cash and this and that. And I say, oh, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. And then, like 3 months will go by, and I'll be like, hey, and you guys know our financial planner. It's Chris Ingram with Infinity Wealth Management and Ingram Financial Solutions. He's a member of the America's Professional Resource Group, which you can get more information at aprgi.com. And so I'm talking to Chris, and we talk about a diversified portfolio and how I need to have a little bit of everything. And I tell him, I call him and I say, hey, don't get mad at me, but I think I just bought another property.
Right.
It's a strange addiction, isn't it?
And there's still that, we're still in that period too where things haven't gone totally out of control, where you still can fit an investment property into your portfolio for a reasonable price, and with renters in there turn a positive income out of it.
What's funny is you mentioned positive income and renters, and as a landlord, I can tell you that something is a brew. Something is happening when it comes to renters. I had an apartment that I rented 8 months ago. Is a one-bedroom apartment in the North Hollywood area, general North Hollywood area, Valley Village, actually. And it was rented for $11.75. Unfortunately, that person needed to get out, so they needed to break their lease early. I said, well, if I rent it quick enough, then, no problem. And I put it back on the market, and I ended up getting $13.95 for it.
Amazing.
That's astronomical rent growth. You're talking about a 15% rent increase in the last 8 months. Something's a brew in the rental market. It's hot.
Sure. And you could probably attribute that to a couple things. Is, half those people probably don't know that there's product available right now that may be able to put them into a property. And then the other half, who are on the fence on whether or not they should buy or not because of the increase that we've seen in property. Again, I'll allude back to what I said previously, is that there's just more buyers than there are properties. And, that's going to drive the price of real estate up.
Yeah, so I feel bad for renters. So if you're a renter, evaluate your opportunity. Don't cheat yourself and your family of 36 times more net worth going down the road than what we have right now. So at least reach out to someone. Reach out to Taylor. He'd be glad to evaluate whether you qualify or not. Taylor, what was the best way to do that?
By cell phone. My cell, direct cell, is area code 661-209-0787. 661-209-0787.
So, what I was talking about there was the renter's trap, and I have a particular family that we really wanted to help, and they're so close, and there's so many out there like you right now that are so close that if you could just get a gift from a family member or a religious or organization or even your employer. Taylor's got an employee benefit program that he's got gifts coming from employers.
Right. We have a great local company out here, TMW Manufacturing. Those guys work wonder for their employees, and they know that the pride of ownership only brings better employees to work, and they do a great job of supporting their employees and making the dream of home ownership come true.
So, in fact, if you're an employer and you have a company out here of, say, anywhere between 10, 50, or even 200 employees, and you'd like to offer an employee benefit to your employees so that you could have better employees, reach out to Taylor. He'll help you set up this program. It's absolutely fantastic what we can do for our employees to help them get into homes right now so they don't get caught in the renter's trap. So, Taylor, I know everybody talks about how many homes sell a day. It's kind of a funny number. Nationwide, we've got 15,315 homes sell a day. That's a big number. It really is a big number, and these are resale homes. This is not new homes. But this is the average that sells on every single day. So being that we're in a short inventory market, if we actually had more inventory, I think this number would probably be close to 17 or 18,000. And these are the largest numbers that we've seen in volume since 2006, 2007.
The numbers are staggering, but I believe it. I mean, if you drive down the street, there's a for sale sign on every single neighborhood. I think it would be hard to drive down a neighborhood and not see a for sale sign.
So if you've been considering selling your home, buying a home, or even refinancing and doing a cash out refinance to pay out your debt, we're doing a lot of that right now as well.
Or purchase an investment property.
Yep, and purchase an investment property. In fact, we do have a product, we were talking about product earlier, that you could purchase an investment property even if you're 2 years out of a short sale. So lots of opportunity in the real estate world. I thank you for joining Taylor and I today on the first half of the show. Thanks, Taylor, for joining me today and filling in for Don.
Appreciate it. Love the opportunity.
And hang out, because we're going to have the man, the myth, the legend, and going to be passing out gold stars as we talk about your college future planning, your college education for your children, grandchildren, or yourself when we come back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.